Mellor is a village in Greater Manchester, England, between Marple Bridge and New Mills, and near the county boundary with Derbyshire. Buildings in the village include St Thomas's Church, a primary school, golf course, sports club, a riding school, 3 pubs, the Royal Oak, the Devonshire Arms, and the Oddfellows Arms, and the late 17th century Mellor Hall. The village was a civil parish in the county of Derbyshire until 1936, when it was transferred to Marple Urban District in Cheshire. In 1974 it became part of the Metropolitan Borough of Stockport in Greater Manchester. The ancient past of Mellor is slowly being discovered as a result of a long-term archaeological survey of the area by means of excavations and geophysical surveys, including ground-penetrating radar. Although some history had survived by means of written records and local tradition, it has become clear that such knowledge only scratched the surface, and that the extent of Mellor's past had passed from such memories. The origin of the name Mellor is uncertain. In one Celtic dialect, the term would translate to the bare hill. The name Mellor does not appear in the Norman-era Domesday Book, although the neighbouring town of Ludworth is listed. It is possible that Ludworth originally included Mellor, and that they split into 2 distinct areas at a later date. The Saxons built a church at the southernmost end of the Iron Age settlement sometime in the 7th or 8th centuries. The church was subsequently destroyed and rebuilt, possibly several times. St Thomas Church has the oldest known wooden pulpit in Britain, possibly the world. Dating from the reign of Edward II, it is octagonal and carved from a single piece of wood. The church also has a 12th century font. According to local legend, Mellor Hall is built on the foundations of the house of a Norman nobleman. During excavations of the Iron Age hill fort, a 13th century hall was discovered. By the time of the English Civil War, Marple had become totally dominant in the region. So much so that John Bradshaw, Lord President of the High Court of Justice and Lord of Marple Hall, was the first to sign the death warrant of King Charles I. Samuel Oldknow was a significant businessman and mill owner in Mellor during the Industrial Revolution. Just across the River Goyt, there are the Roman lakes. These are not Roman, but were water reservoirs for Samuel Oldknow's Mellor Mill cotton mill, a major employer in the area in the Industrial Revolution. One of the local stories involves the fate of Samuel Oldknow's mill at the Roman lakes, which was destroyed by fire in November 1892. Accidents at such mills were common, but so were violent rivalries. There have been claims made for both cases. The only thing that can be stated with any certainty is that the mill was gutted by the blaze. The other major figure in Mellor at this time was William Radcliffe, a mill owner who invented many devices for improving the textile industry. At the height of the Industrial Revolution, coal power supplanted water power as the driving force, and mineable coal seams were found in Mellor. Relatively recently, the British Coal Board strip-mined those seams that still had sufficient coal in them. Mellor began to grow during the Victorian era. Before it was very small, and consisted of a few houses and Moor End. Nowadays, Moor End is considered a part of Mellor. Mellor lies in the foothills of the Pennines, just outside the area of Derbyshire known as the High Peak. Nearby villages include Routh, Marple Bridge, Ludworth, and Millbrow. The town of Marple lies across the River Goyt. A little further away are towns of Romiley and New Mills and the villages of Hayfield and Strines. Mellor Church and Mellor Hall are situated on the top of a ridge that is separated from the bulk of the village of Mellor by a gully and stream. The oldest part of inhabited Mellor runs alongside the River Goyt, stretching from the oldest parts of Marple Bridge up the hill, spreading out where the slope becomes gentle. Newer parts of the village run down Longhurst Lane, the old turnpike road, and into former farmland released for building by Townscliff Farm. At the very top of Mellor is the junction of 5 ways. One of these roads runs to Mellor, a second to Routh, a third to Strines and New Mills, the fourth to a water treatment plant, and a fifth to many farms on the edge of Mellor. Spoil heaps indicate mining operations here, and coal was mined in the general area during the Industrial Revolution.